Yo, Matt, we are rolling into week 12, and unfortunately,
Sir.
after week 1, NFL players didn't learn that you can't spit on people. Jamar Chase out a game, but that's not
He's
all.
he said he said he didn't spit, so
I saw the video. He definitely got some on him. But that wasn't even the only standout thing. I mean, we just saw just a crazy weird. I feel like that is the definition of the NFL right now. This season is the craziest things happening because we see someone spit on a guy again. We see an NFL record happen. And going into this week, if you told me someone was going to break a record, it would not have been this guy. Like,
right. It wasn't a field goal this time. It was replacement quarterback come in. I told you that was gonna be a weird game. Arizona, you don't know, with that veteran quarterback coming in. 47 for 57, threw for 452 yards. They only scored 22 points and lose the game. Like that's insane to me that Arizona
in
can.
my mind too, like I know 47's a lot, but like Big Ben or like Big Ben had a couple games where he had 50 plus attempts. So then in my mind, like 47 just wasn't the number, but to only throw 10 incompletions like that, when you told me that, I was thinking 60 something, and then how many points? The 22, 21 points. It's like, dude, like, yeah, I don't know. If
Yep.
you're Kyler, man, you better start fucking swinging that baseball bat again.
I know. Like we said before, great for McBride though. And then obviously it was one of those weird ones. You get this who's going to step up, Michael Carter. Is that the wide receiver or no? Michael Wilson.
Michael Wilson, yes.
15 receptions for 185 yards.
Probably
Uh,
more yards that game that he had all
I know, just
career. Like,
just coming out of nowhere. Another one to me, I mean, kind of all over the, we decided ahead of time the Bucks Bills game was going to be the shootout, and it absolutely was. That was impressive. You wouldn't have thought at the end of the game when you're seeing that it was as close as it was. 44-32 ended up, but I mean, 6 total touchdowns out of Josh Allen.
I know I played against him.
I had him. So,
Sure, that
no,
was nice.
that was impressive all the way around. And then on the other side, Sean Tucker was the one that stood out for the Bucks. We thought, well, I guess I thought it was going to be White, just as we're waiting for Bucky. And no, Sean Tucker, again, it's one of those monster games that he has over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, just kind of stepping in. And it's one of those games where we're just waiting for Bucky, if we're going to see him eventually. But in the meantime, it's great to see someone step out like that. Sticking with quarterback, though, another impressive performance. You highlighted it right away. You said Bryce Young. You said the Panthers all over the Falcons, and Bryce Young 448 yards, and really connected with Tet McMillan, 130 yards, two TDs to him. So pretty cool to see some big offensive games until we got to Sunday night, which was our defensive battle as it was.
Yeah.
So,
which I mentioned that that game could get weird, just because the team kind of offset each other in a way. Like it was weird where our defense is really good, your offense is really good, our offense kind of sucks, your defense is like hit or miss too, and so it just was like a collage of like all of that stuff and just a bad mixture. But
yep.
and one thing I'll lead into with the stats. You mentioned Bryce Young, 31 for 45, 448 passing yards, and 3 touchdowns. The impressive thing about that is the 448 passing yards is a franchise record for the Panthers. So that kind of went under the radar because of the whole Jacoby Brissett thing. But to flip off quarterbacks for a bit here, since we're gassing them all up, Myles Garrett, 10 sacks in his last 3 games. I mean, he's defensive player of the year.
Yeah, what's he at now? Like 15, 16 sacks or something like that?
He's got to be up there. He's absolutely got to be up there. You mentioned it with Jake Ferguson, or I'm sorry, with Trey McBride, but Jake Ferguson is tight end number 2. He is closer to Kyle Pitts at tight end number 18 than he is to Trey McBride at tight end number 1. That's wild. That's super crazy. Obviously,
McBride the standout, right?
you love that one because you went McBride over Bowers this year, which obviously worked out tremendously for you. Um, and then, obviously we just mentioned it a little bit, but an insane stat, and I usually don't do this because I try to stay away from the Philly stats just so it doesn't look crazy biased when we post these. But the Eagles defense has only allowed 9 passing touchdowns this season, which is the best in the league. Meanwhile, opposing quarterbacks are only completing 56% of their passes against the defense, also best in the NFL. Which gets even crazier is when you see the list of quarterbacks they face. Just to name a couple: Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love. I mean, they played some top 10,
Yeah.
top 15 quarterbacks that a lot of those guys are having really good seasons right now. And that defense, I mean, we saw Jared Goff. I mean,
14 for 37. He just he
37.
could not connect.
Yeah. So that to me, when I saw that stat, I was like, wow, I actually have to share that one because that is a crazy defensive stats. I don't know if we've seen that be that low in both categories for the same team in a while.
Well, and it wasn't just, I mean, it was some of those plays were passing, but the Lions on 4th down went from 7 out of 9 to 0-5 against the Eagles on 4th down. That was, it was half and half. It was that shutdown from your defense, but it was also the Lions just not connecting. So
yeah, it was a couple of those when you guys did it was like 2 or 3 in a row, like 2 or 3 4th downs that you guys went for it, and I was like, man, if we keep stopping this is just sucking the air out of them at this point because that's your guys' game. That's your guys' thing is that I mean, the punt, we saw them just read that, out of. I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't
they were
even
all over that
close.
one.
They were all over it. So just shout out to Vic Fangio. It was awesome. Caleb Williams though, career interception rate of just 1.1% so far. The best interception rate in NFL history at the moment belongs to Aaron Rodgers at 1.4%. Now, obviously, Rodgers has played a buttload of more games than Caleb Williams, but that's a pretty good stat to have, especially when you're a younger quarterback, which that's when you typically make your most mistakes, right? So I mean, you do that, you have a pretty good chance at winning a lot of games as long as you don't turn the football over, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's actually kind of figuring that out with Ben Johnson's offense. He's actually, it's a little bit, we kind of saw it's that first read that he had, and that was about it, and then he'd bail. He's kind of getting Ben's offense a little bit better, and he's able to make that sometimes that second or third read that he needs to.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really interesting to see him like year 2 in Ben Johnson's offense because he's gonna have a consistent foundation instead of just going from coordinator to coach, right? But not to just keep hammering the Panthers because I guessed that one right both times this year. But no, on a real note, the Panthers record this season is directly correlated with the coin toss result. If they win the coin toss, they are 6-0. If they lose the coin toss, they were 0-5.
I'd like to know if it was heads or tails that time
That's
too, to
what, or
break
is it
that
like a
down.
mixture where you're
Right.
you're in a blender, like, damn it, man. Like you just win the coin, you like lose the coin toss and just walk away. You're like, we're done. We're done. I don't know if that has ever even happened. Like, I don't know if people look this into stats.
I was gonna
before,
say, how are we tracking this at this point? But
it's got to be some Panthers fan, right? It's got to be some Panthers fan that's like, dude, I feel like we always lose when we lose the toss, and then they looked it up and they're like, holy shit, like,
yep.
So that one was crazy. Honestly, one of the biggest matchups of the week. And spoiler alert, me and you were 50-50 on this one. We'll let you see where we land on that side of things. But a wild stat is the Indianapolis Colts are the only NFL team left that Patrick Mahomes has never beaten. He is 0-2 against them. So I'll spoil it right now. I went with the Chiefs, so that doesn't make me feel great, but I'm sure it makes
I
me
love
feel,
I love having the support,
yeah.
and I did pick them. So
Yeah. Well, you know what? Week 1, I did that with the Colts Dolphins. I remember me doing it because Daniel Jones was like 0-6 in openers. So, but no, this one I had to tell this one, Matt, even though he's not a Lion anymore. Matthew Stafford, for the first time in his entire NFL career, finally has a winning career record over 500. He is 116 and 115 and 1.
I saw that. About time.
He just had to leave Detroit.
It's part of it, but
That's all I got for us, though. On that one, we'll dive into the games here. We are, disclaimer, recording this Tuesday night, which Matt, me and you even both agree it feels really weird. But Wednesday night, or Wednesday, is my birthday, so we are a little bit uninformed on some of the injuries to start off. But which I didn't even think about this, Matt, because our brains are so cooked with everything going on. Like you said, we didn't even get to digest everything that happened last week. But obviously, it makes sense now that I just said that CJ Stroud was ruled out for this week because I didn't even realize that they played Thursday night until I just looked at this. So that makes sense that it's Tuesday and he's ruled
that
out
was
for
ahead of
Thursday with
time.
concussion.
Yeah.
But I mean, you nailed it. I already talked to you in pre-production. You nailed it. That when CJ Stroud went down in that game, you were like, dude, that was like a 2-3 week concussion. Like that was a bad one. And this is his third matchup missing. Like,
Yeah.
so not ideal when you have the Bills coming into town and they just put up 44. And they seem to get things clicking. But to be fair, Houston's defense is very, very good. But them beating the Titans 16-13, not exactly comfort for me to go with them in this matchup.
True. Yeah, I mean, we still saw a connection between Nico
Which was nice,
and
yeah.
and Mills, which was good to see. You like the superstar wide receiver to still be able to get the ball, but no, Bills finally kind of got it together, which was well needed after that 3-game slide. So Bills look pretty strong. So that's why I took them here.
And how about the Keon Coleman stuff?
What do you mean?
Just getting benched.
Oh yeah, just not
showing up to a meeting, and then he's just
and you know what? That's what it was kind of funny because then the guy that steps up for him was it Savers?
Shaver or something like that. Yeah.
And he just absolutely makes a great catch in the a deep bomb in the end zone, and so we talked about it, and every time we talk about the Bills, we say, who the hell's the wide receiver that's going to be able to step up for this? And it was a little bit of anybody and everybody.
Yeah, and we even saw Gabe
last game.
Davis there. Gabe Davis was getting a ton of targets in that game. Yeah. And then we have the Pittsburgh Steelers going into Chicago. I potentially might be tailgating this game. Not going in. Tickets are still $580 for nosebleeds right now.
Really?
Swear. Well, to be fair, everyone in Chicago wants Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to play, I don't think. They say he's day to day because of his hand, wrist, thumb,
Yeah,
whatever
I
the
mean
hell it is.
it's left hand, so
It's
one of
that's
those.
what you're saying, the day to day. But the Bears fans want to see the Bears beat Rodgers in Soldier Stadium one last time before Rodgers
True.
retires. So
True.
because they've, I mean, this is like a nightmare matchup though if you're a Bears though, because if Rodgers comes in with a different team, broken left hand, and beats you, he's gonna do the discount double check in Chicago. Like, if you're a Bears fan, you're frightened. Like you want him to start so you can beat him, but at the same time, if he beats you, you might as well just give up the season here. You know what I mean? It's a lose-lose. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you'd rather play against what's his
Mason
name?
Rudolph.
Mason Rudolph. Yeah, I'd you obviously want him at quarterback instead of Aaron Rodgers, but
Yeah.
you're right. The kind of nostalgic feeling of getting to play Aaron Rodgers one more time would be nice.
With your
But
team on the up at least, knock the old guy down, put him in the rear view mirror, move forward, But yeah, and then tickets in like 2-3 weeks. I forget who they play. They might play Cleveland, like in Chicago, and it's like $75. I'm like, I can do that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
if we just have people coming into town, I'm like, we could do that. But for $580 a piece, we have 5 people going.
Not
I don't know if
worth
we're
it.
spending 3 racks to go see the Steelers and Bears.
Yeah, I'd rather do an NFL Europe game if you're gonna spend that much money.
Exactly.
Which is interesting. I'm noticing. Did our vacation finally end? We're not. I feel like it was like six straight weeks of NFL Europe.
We said that too, and then all of a sudden it came back again. So I should like look into that in the future schedule because I swear we said that a couple weeks ago, and then all of a sudden we were back in like Berlin.
And then we did Germany and then Madrid and then.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting. But not to shy away from the game here. Bears really good win last week. Top of the NFC North. We completed the Eagles Bears alliance. We do play them next week. So I keep seeing all the memes of like just all kinds of stuff, like Eagles fans to Bears fans, and it's Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, and he's like he's sitting there like I'm sorry, and then he just kicks him in the head or whatever. It's like the Eagles fans versus the Bears. It's like
Yep.
so it's gonna be weird, man, because it's like I said, they did the complete sweep on the NFC East, and we did the complete sweep on the NFC North, and both of them are top of the division now, Eagles and the Bears. So it's a weird like, I mean, and they walk away from this one like we both have them doing. They're 8-3. We both have the Eagles go over the Cowboys, and then Eagles would go and probably secure the division in the NFC East because the Cowboys are the only team that's even remotely close. So it's gonna get weird here. But this is not one that I see. I just don't see Rodgers playing in this game. Seeing the injury and reading the injury,
Right.
it's not gruesome. It's just one of those things where he avoided surgery, is what they said. But there's just no way you just like come back, especially at his age. You just don't come back a week later. And yes, it's not a throwing hand, but you still have to have the strength to hold on to the ball with sacks, with the snaps, with everything, right? So I see Mason Rudolph coming in this game, and I see the Bears getting lucky and being able to go 8-3 in this game or in the season here.
Yep. I agree.
And then we have the Patriots at Cincinnati. Unfortunately, we were just talking about it. I think Cincinnati's season is over after being. Would they lose by like 26 points or 20 something, 20 whatever the hell it was, 24 points. They got smoked against the Steelers last week. So I think the Bengals' chance are done. Which, if that's the case, we probably will not see Joe Burrow suit back up because there's just. Why? Why would you? There's just no reason to.
Yeah, I mean that is kind of depressing because I was really hoping he was going to make that run, right at the end. But
Yeah, and then you're in this game. You're without Jamar Chase, 1-game suspension, right? So he did appeal it. I don't think it's going to matter. If you just watch the video for 3 seconds, you can literally see spit leave his mouth and hit Jalen Ramsey. It's not that hard to look at. And then on the other side of things, Drake May, number 1 passer in the league right now, leading the MVP odds. He's got like 220 yards above every single other quarterback. That's even close to him on the top 5. So this is just another layup for them. Look for Drake May to put up 300 plus here, and just kind of have a field day and go 10-2. Which, if you're the Bills, man, I don't know about you, but I did not see the AFC East being competitive with the Buffalo Bills this season. I thought they just had a pure cakewalk to the division winner, and here the Patriots are possibly going to be 10-2.
right, and where it kind of came alive was Trayvon Henderson. Another week, 3 touchdowns, just in the receiving game too. I think that one in the back of the end zone was nice too. Like, when he scores their first 3 touchdowns, that's impressive. That again, he backed it up, just like we thought. The week before where he stepped up and that was his breakout game. He just kept it rolling. 3 more touchdowns. It's good to see. It's one of those kind of hookups that you have when your quarterback is doing as well as he is, and then you have your rookie running back step up. Makes for a pretty good, exciting team. And that's why I think it shows here -8.5 is pretty massive here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Henderson too, 5 touchdowns in 5 days. I think this Sunday he had 2 and then 3 on Thursday. So 5 touchdowns in 5 days is pretty awesome. And then we have the Lions at home against the Giants here. Obviously -10.5 line, not necessarily the greatest in terms of if you're looking to be if you're a Giants fan, I think you are full on just having fun with Winston. Like, I think you don't expect your season to go anywhere anyways now. Like, you haven't since Dart, Scadaboo, Neighbor. The injuries between those 3 guys. Scadaboo and Neighbors being out for the season, but then Dart, concussion, on and off, whatever it is. So it's like you had fun last week, even though you lost to the Green Bay, right? It's like I'm sure you would have liked him to win that game. But it's just one of those things where you're just having fun with it. And if you're Detroit, it's one of those things where you got to be a little bit careful. But I think what gives me a little bit of boost, a little bit of confidence boost, and maybe it'll help you out, is I think you guys are notorious, lose a game and then blow the next team out. Like, that's what it's kind of going to be interesting to look forward to in the future of your guys' season, because you need to figure out how to stay here. I mean, stay in between. You're
Right.
here. You don't have a here. You have
We have the ups
here.
and downs.
You
Yeah.
have here, and then you have here, and it's just like here is amazing. It's awesome, and then the next week you're here, and it's like, what the fuck was that? It's like, so it's either 50 points or it's nothing. But I think this is the 50-point game. This
It's
is yeah.
52, I think, is what I'm predicting.
52
So,
total or 52 for the Lions?
for the Lions.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So yeah, it's that up down theory of coming off a loss. They don't throw 2 back-to-backs together, and obviously this is kind of the season. This is the pivot point. If we got to keep, we win these next 3. I think we're moving in the right direction now. What I will say, just because I want to find a spot to be able to yell at dumbass JMO. I really think, obviously at the end of the game it doesn't matter, but giving away 1 point just because you're excited that you score a touchdown in the NFL is just uncalled for.
Yeah, and then for me it was the sideline too, though. He kind of was just like, it's just like, dude, you
Yeah,
just now they just missed. It was like they missed the kick, and then he was just like on the sideline, like whatever. It was
I
just like,
I
oh
thought
man.
I will say I think it was after coach went over to him and he must have said something. He didn't yell at him, but he said something to him afterwards. After like that scene, I did see him, I thought at least, mouth, "That's on me." So I think he understood. It was one of those things, he got caught up, but you can't do that. There's literally 2 things you can't do after a touchdown. You can't thrust, apparently. Rico Dowdle told us that. You can't thrust even if it's just 2 times. And you can't touch the goalpost. You can't do a dunk. You can't. What did he even do? He just jumps at it.
Yeah, he just jumped and just knocked off of it or something like that. Like it was something stupid.
So, I mean, it really was in a game with the wind like that to cost your team a point, and you would have had a chance to take the lead there. It just absolutely uncalled for. So, all that being said, he's a stud. A great game again. Get him open. Do that little crosser in space, and he's just going to sprint. Till he hits the end zone, and that's exactly what he did. So, yeah, I'm predicting 52-pointer against the Giants here, and we're going to see some fun, like you said. Winston's just going to throwing the ball every which way, but maybe this, maybe again like we were with what was it, the Lotto parlay with Skadaboo. I think this is the one that will finally get the defensive score. I think we were just a week behind.
There you go. And then obviously we have another big NFC game, NFC North game for Minnesota here.
Yep.
Obviously if they lose this one, NFC North promises are pretty much shut out there at that point. But I'm sure you wouldn't hate it if they did at least win and knock the Packers down one more game. Because right now you guys are on the outside looking in, but this is just one I don't see Green Bay. I don't see them dropping this one, even though they've notoriously been pretty bad at Green Bay this season. I was looking into that. Like they've lost more games in Green Bay than we realize. So I think it kind of says everything you need to know that they're -6.5, and they're probably going to play without Josh Jacobs this week, which is saying a lot for the books to still favor them by that much.
Well, and I didn't even. I forgot to ask you about it. I mean, I saw.
They're saying it's unlikely that he'll make it, but
No. So, but Malik came in.
yeah,
Um,
just a couple plays. It was weird. I don't know. And then Love came back and he was fine again. So
yeah, that was
I
a weird
thought
one
I
too.
legitimately thought that the Packers were going to lose because I was like, oh my gosh, like Jordan Love he's gone. And then yeah, he came back out, and then obviously they snuck I think it was 19-16. They like snuck a win out of the Giants there. But
Yep.
yeah, I mean, we're talking about this is a team that was 4-1-1 at some point, and we were talking about how they're most well-rounded team, or 5-1-1. I'm sorry, and it's time to prove that you guys still are. There's a lot of if ands or buts about the play calling, the head coaching, the this, the that, whatever. And it's just this is where you got to figure it out. You still got time, but the NFC North is closing in, and I'm sure without looking at the schedule, the way they always do the NFC North, you guys are probably ringing up like 1, 2, 3 games back to back to back at the 16, 17, 18 weeks
Right.
where it's NFC North, NFC North, NFC North, NFC. So I'm sure it's coming. So the time to get some wins, especially against the 4-6 Vikings, which I think the Packers would still have to play them one more time, I think. But you got to get it done. This is one you can't let slip by, and you gotta gain one back.
Yep.
And then we have Seattle at Tennessee. If you're Tennessee, I just don't win. Don't win.
I know they. I mean, they actually looked for a little while decent last week. So yeah,
Don't win.
there's no reason to, especially with the Jets stupidly winning
Yeah.
a couple
Everyone's
weeks
winning
ago.
for you. Just stop. Yeah.
Saints winning a couple.
Yeah. Just don't do it. Just get the number one pick again. You got Cam Ward last year. You're gonna give him another try. I mean, you're not gonna give him a 101 right away, but it's like just give him some help. So Seattle by a mile on this one. But one of the matchups of the week, and even though it's not a prime time, is this Colts at Kansas City. Obviously, I just mentioned that Mahomes has not beaten them, and that he's 0-2 against them. It's the only team that he has not beaten. But I think he completes it. I think he completes it. I think it's crazy to think that they're the third team in the AFC West right now. I mean, I wouldn't have thought Denver and LA would be above them at this point by this much, in the season. But it's one of those where the refs will come into play, and it's in Kansas City.
I was gonna say, especially when
Yeah,
it's
it's
at
yeah,
Arrowhead,
yeah.
that's
I
what
mean,
makes
because
it
why
happen.
else is it favored, right? -3.5. You're a 5-5 Chiefs team who barely did anything against Denver last week, and then you're talking about the 8-2 Colts, man. Like they just came off a bye. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, I like the Colts coming out of a bye here,
yeah,
and then I can see being in Arrowhead and then coming off a bad loss like that, a heartbreaker. I can see them righting the ship, but um, I'm just kind of riding the Colts, season right now. I think to just continue this ride of this historic season, who better to beat than the Chiefs in Arrowhead to solidify? To me, this is the game you do it in. So, yeah, it's one of those weird ones where on paper you'd almost think that the Colts, cut off a bye should be a lot closer than 3.5 or maybe even. But
yeah.
um,
I'm
I don't.
strictly just. I mean, I'm with you. I want the Colts to win here, but I'm riding the books and the refs on this one just to. And I don't care. Like they can say we're 5-5. The refs. It's like your talent is finally not good enough to even have ref help. Like that's the thing is you guys aren't playing well enough for the refs to even help at this point. Like
Right.
you guys were always playing to a certain level where the refs would help out, and then you were unstoppable. But now it's. But I don't know because I just 5-6, man. They don't make the playoffs. We haven't seen an AFC Championship with no Mahomes in 6 years, 7 years, or whatever. So it just doesn't feel. You know what I mean? This is like a feel pick more than it is a like pick. Where I do like the Colts and I want them to keep doing it, and hopefully JT scores 1,000 touchdowns because it is so cool seeing the year that he's having.
Yep.
Um, and then we have the Ravens at the Jets, or I'm sorry, the Jets at the Ravens. 13.5. We saw Tyrod Taylor get announced as the starter. Because obviously Justin Fields throwing for 56 yards isn't enough. Which funny enough, there's actually like a funny. I didn't include this in the stats, earlier, but there's a fun fact that Justin Fields, as of last Thursday, now has more games this year over 55 passing yards than under. The ratio is 5-4. He's played
That
9 games, and
that's
4 of
so
them are under 55.
that's so bad.
So, I mean, I generally think Yeah, I mean, it's 100% a stat, right? That Jonathan Taylor probably has more rushing yards than Fields. He
Yeah,
has to.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he has to. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, but the thing that sucks is if you're Tyrod, you want to win. You don't want to go in there and lose. I mean, you only have so many games left in your career where you're going to be able to start. At the end of the day,
Right.
you're still a starting NFL quarterback, and that in itself is a blessing. It's something to never take for granted. But like, yeah, the Jets. I mean, you know what you're winning. You're going to end up with like the 5-6 pick instead of like 2 or 1 or 3 like you need,
Yeah.
and it's just yeah. But
No, and
hey,
to me, it's Brees Hall just playing for a contract, right? So he's not going to want to lay down and lose either. So yeah, I think both of them still try try to win here. They just can't do it.
yeah,
Um, but did you see the new take on the tush push with Mark Andrews?
yes,
That was
secured
if
the game.
that is such a ballsy
You
call.
secure the game, especially the most unathletic side. Like, no
I
offense, Mark
know.
Andrews, he's just out of his prime. It's just like it
He
was like
looked
watching Kelsey. Like,
he looked quick coming out of that just because no one
yeah,
expected it.
no, he looked quick for the first 2 yards, and then he started running, and it was like you saw the ref walking on the sideline. And you're like, wait a minute, this guy's not moving at all. No one else is moving. Like,
Right. So yeah,
yeah, that was crazy.
fourth and what? Fourth and 1 or 2 to solidify the game. It's a tie game at that point. Instead of, you don't have, Justin Tugger back there.
Hey, he's
So
cleared. He's cleared to play.
okay. So you don't have maybe who you think can kick that field goal. I don't know. To me, I love that play call. It's the rollout. Tight end taking the snap for the tush push. He rolls out and just runs it straight into the end zone. Like that was to me that was impressive. I love to see. I think there's a couple other teams that do that with their tight end. Um, that we've seen kind of like you don't want Joe Flacco trying to do that tush push. You don't want a couple of those guys. So it's cool to see. I think that's the only way when you have everybody lined up on that tush push jam right there. That's a cool way to just kind of sneak that thing out.
Yeah, just goes to show that tush push should not be just like Danny Campbell said. It should not be taken out. I
I
mean,
agree.
it's I mean, obviously the officiating on anything though, like I mean, you look I mean, look, we can talk about pass interference, right? It's like some things get called and it shouldn't, and sometimes it does on this, and sometimes I mean, it's a game to game call, and that's like a lot holding, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's no definitive, so that's what makes it. That's what sucks. But there's no one that loves the adjustments of like the tush push than me. Like seeing even when the Eagles brought one out with Barkley, you know, they didn't think they were going to do that. Now teams are set back on them because they don't know what they're going to do. And then now you see Baltimore, like you don't think the Eagles aren't practicing that this week where they saw that and they're like, let's give
Yeah.
Dallas Goddard a try. Dallas Goddard's quicker than Mark Andrews, right? And so it's going to come into a, you know, kind of a trick play. And it's I think that works out well. But to not get sidetracked, one thing here to make notice of is the Ravens being 5-5. I mean, I think they were 1-5 at one point. I could be wrong, or maybe two and
Is
five.
it 4 straight? I mean, it could be. Yeah.
It's they're either 1-5 or 2-5, or and so they're doing everything they need to do, and that's why they were still favored to win the AFC North. So shout out to them. I mean, they'll be 6-5 here. The Steelers obviously trending the wrong direction, like we said. So that AFC
Yep.
North is really still wide open for them. And then I hated every part of this matchup. I went back and
What a
forth.
matchup right
Dude,
here.
I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I I don't know if I have much to say about this game other than the fact the Raiders have Genty, they have Max Crosby. Just give Genty the ball 30, 40 times. Like
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. That's all I have to say because Geno Smith is the worst fucking quarterback ever. And ever. And so, yeah. And then you take Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders or whoever
No,
the hell is going to play.
it's this is the Shador Sanders show.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I want to hear. We've got a couple VIP Browns fans that listen to this show, so um, It was exciting. I mean, you could, watching the replay, you could feel that they were actually excited for a second when he came in. Now, he looked like
He
shit,
trotted in and they got excited, and then he threw a football. They were like, "Fuck."
and it didn't look great, and, but it's exciting. So, to me, when you have a defense like the Browns, you know, maybe a
That's why
little
I
bit.
wanted to go. Yeah, that's why I really favored with them a lot, was just because I read you the Myles Garrett stat. I mean, he's unbelievable. He really is. So that's what scared me. But then the offense probably scared me just a little bit more than because I mean, I don't know. I you know what? I could see them. I could see them winning this game. But at the end of the day, both these teams are 2-8, and if you're both of them, you both don't want to win. I mean, why win?
Yeah.
Why win? So it's just thank goodness that the Eagles play 20 minutes later, and I don't even have to like worry about
Right?
this at all. It's gonna be great. The Jags with an impressive win over the Chargers, though. I mean, no, that one kind of deflated me and you when it comes
Yeah.
to our hopes on the Chargers and Justin Herbert's. Um, yeah, I mean, I think -2.5 here is a little crazy. I know Jacoby Brissett did just break the NFL record with completions, but at the same time, he only scored 22 points. So I think it is a little crazy that they are giving the Cardinals this much juice. But
Yep.
hey, who knows? We still haven't heard anything on Marvin Harrison. Obviously, we're recording this a little early, so we probably won't have an update until whatever. But I personally think he's still gonna miss. I don't think it's. I think it's
Yeah,
gonna
and
be that 2-3 weeks, like I said.
yeah, my initial thought was just gonna be the 1 week and then, kinda quick recovery, try to get back out there, but you're right. I mean, when you're stretching, when you're reaching, he's a tall, lanky guy, so, um,
And when you're 3-7 and he's your franchise guy, it's like
makes
you
it
really,
make
gonna-
it makes
you
sense
really
not
gonna
to
go.
rush him.
Yeah, if they're 7-3, it's like, hey man, we could use you. But they're 3-7. But things have gotten weird with the Cardinals, man. And the Jags have been a really weird team. Obviously, that's why we love the Chargers as much as we did last week. So the Jags have been a really good team. They come out and they do what they did last week, or they come out and they look like they never played football before. So
Right.
if we go into week 13 and you tell me the Cardinals beat the Jags, I wouldn't even blink an eye. I just wouldn't. Like I wouldn't at all. I could see Trey McBride 12 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Easily, yeah.
Michael Jackson or no, Michael Wilson. Uh,
What did I
I'm
say? I
just
said
you said Michael
I was
Carter,
thinking
but I was
Michael
still
Carter,
just
yeah.
yeah, I was poking fun at you. But yeah, Michael Wilson, I mean, he's been the number 2 there. He's only like 25, 26 years old. He's been there for a little while. Just no love. So yeah, I mean, you got to go Jags here unless you're just a diehard Cardinals fan that believes in what they got going on there. But um, it'll be interesting to track the Kyler Murray stuff going into the offseason because I think that it's going to get. I don't think he's done in the NFL. I just think he's done with the Cardinals. I think you can see him maybe like with the Steelers or the Raiders, Jets. Like could
Saints,
could get tricky. Yeah, it could get tricky.
who knows?
Um,
But
yeah,
yeah, so
Dolphins,
the last thing I'll say is
Duval.
the yeah, the Jags are just it's when I look at this matchup, it's both
It's weird,
like
man.
I can see the Cardinals just I don't know what's gonna happen. Again, he might throw 47 completions and still lose, or he's gonna have another monster game and put up 40. Or the Jags. What Jags are we gonna get? What I want, and again, we're early in the week, so I didn't double check it yet, but they opened the window on Brandon Strange, the tight end for the
Yep.
Jags. I don't know how practice is going from transition from last week to this week. I think he's an important piece at tight end to see, but I don't that doesn't sway the game one way or another for me. It's just kind of one of those pieces that I do want to look at to see if he's getting back because it's another weapon for the Jags to have.
Yeah, he is trending, but doesn't look to be a favorable pickup across the next 4-game stretch.
Okay.
Um, just with his injury and his head-to-head matchups, I guess is
Okay.
is is just not looking very. Oh, we'll see. And then we have the Eagles at Dallas. This is what I was talking about earlier, where if the Eagles should get this done. especially with the way our defense has been playing. I mean, this is a layup game for our offense to figure it the fuck out. And their
Decide if they want to
defense,
run the ball, decide if they want to throw the ball.
right?
What game is it going to be this time? Because
Right,
we've seen
because the
a little bit
Dallas
of
will let you do whatever you want to do. I mean, Dallas' defense is terrible. So, I am a little worried about Lane Johnson's going to be out. I think minimum 4 weeks. I think it's going to be more like 6 weeks. Unfortunately, maybe 8.
yeah, that's a bad injury.
It's a
So
bad injury, and then obviously we've had Cam Jurgens kind of banged up as well. So that is the downfall in this one is the O-line is pretty banged up and the offense isn't there. But I gave you the stats that I gave you, and Dallas they rely on their offense to score 50 points, and I just don't think this is the matchup for them it just doesn't favor them very well. Even though this is their Super Bowl, like we're coming into town and they win this, they win their season in their mind. It doesn't matter if they finish off 5-10-1. They are just happy that they beat the Eagles in Dallas. They don't care. So these
absolutely.
games get weird. I mean, the divisional games always do, but I just got to keep faith in the defense and hope that the offense figures it out. So
Yeah, I like the matchup here. Just because everything you're saying, when it's a divisional game like this, Cowboys, kind of figure things out sometimes. And when we had such a weird, defensive battle last week against the Lions, it maybe just takes a couple of those blows to get the Eagles defense, sliding a little bit. And that's the scary part of a game like this is it can kind of get that atmosphere for the Cowboys if they throw a couple of those bombs. If Pickens does that crazy run down the sideline and cut over it, if Lamb got a touchdown or two, if those guys get the offense rolling against your defense, that's a scary matchup at the end of the day. So, I mean, I'm right there with you that the Eagles will be able to stick this out, but this one could be a little scary.
yeah, you heard it here first. AJ Brown 100+ yards. They
How about
target
100?
that. They
How
target.
about 125?
There you go. They're gonna target the hell out of them. And
I
it's
I
not to get off
I
topic,
think
but
so too.
I hate that too. By the way, I hate if when a wide receiver complains and then you game plan to give him the ball a ton.
Yeah.
It's the most annoying thing ever because it's the most predictable thing in the world. It's like, oh, he's complaining, so they're gonna give him the ball now. It's like that's stupid. Like that's so stupid. But whatever. Atlanta though, we said it. You can't lose 5 straight or 6 straight. I'm sorry. You can't lose 6 straight.
I
It's
mean, you
not
can't.
possible.
You
Well,
you can.
you can, but if you're
You
Atlanta
shouldn't.
and you have this much power, even though you're Drake London and Michael Penis out, Kirko Chains. Actually, I can't even call him Kirko Chains. Costco Kirk.
There you go.
Costco Kirk. Cole's Kirk. Cole's Cash Kirk. He
Say it again.
Cole's Cash Kirk.
There you go. Okay.
He I don't know, man. I'm a Kirko guy, man. Like he loves football. Like even when he's not playing how he should, he and he will put it on him. Like I'm not playing where I need to be. If you watch the quarterback, it's like I'm not playing where I need to be playing. Like what am I missing? What am I seeing? He's open. It's not like he's like for me. Rodgers is a complainer. If he gets
Right.
sacked, it's something. If he makes a mistake, it's someone did something else. Kirk will put it all on him and just try to figure it out and give his team the best chance to win. His days are so numbered with NFL starts right now. And if he wants a team to maybe take a chance, just one, even if it's like the Saints or the Raiders, to just have him come in and like be the starter until he fucks up and then give the rookie a chance that they draft or something like that. Like
Yep.
he needs this game to just 250, a tutty or two. Like, you know what I mean? Just like give a little bit of hope that like he still got something in the tank. Like
I mean,
I know it's slim. I'm not banking on it, but
yeah,
get beat on the ball.
you pay a guy $90 million and then now he's coming in the backup role is embarrassing. But yeah, why don't you just literally dump it off? You still get those receiving yards, so dump it off to Bijan, let him, do another 60 yarder, and score that way. you still look like a hero. You're still putting the numbers together, still getting the win, and then now you might get an opportunity. You're right. So it's I don't know how the Saints. I know you kind of said, well, we've got their starting quarterback, starting wide receiver out, but I don't know how the Saints are favored here. The Saints just don't look like an actual football
What scares me,
organization.
dude, is the last time we did this, we talked shit on the Saints, and then they fucking won. Remember with the Panthers, and we like went all in minus
Yeah.
5.5. Panthers, Rico Dowdle touchdown, and I just realized we did it again.
Now we're good. We got
No, no, we're good. Kirk's Cole Cash.
Yep.
Cole's Cash Kirk.
Hey, it's around the holidays. You got the Coles Cash just rolling in.
Just rolling a new sweater.
As many flannels as you can. Yep.
Dude, I'm in.
We're good.
I'm in on Kirko. Give me 250 passing yards, Kirk Cousins. Kyle Pitts breakout week. It's his year. We're so delusional. Everything we said there, I didn't believe a single thing of it.
Nope.
Like I tried, like I even like everything I said as I was saying it. In my mind, I'm like, nope, still nope. Like so.
The only thing that's true out of it is Bijan just keeps it
Yes.
rolling.
Bijan and Kyle Pitts actually need to get targeted a ton, and that's what I'm saying is just that is enough. I think for them. I think that's going to be good enough for them to win the game. Like,
Yep.
I think Atlanta's defense is strong enough, and yeah, it's just you got to get back on. I think we didn't say it, but I think as a head coach, you're kind of on the hot seat there too. Like, I mean, that's back-to-back seasons. Last year you blamed it on Kirk Cousins. This year you started the guy that you wanted to start. It's like, how much more room do you have there? You know what I mean? It's you have a lot of talent there to not be performing to the ability you should be. But what about this schedule for the Bucs, man? I mean, we're talking about like the Patriots having a layup schedule, the Bills have a little bit of a layup schedule too. It's like the Bucs are just getting hammered.
Grueling, yeah.
And they are banged up, as you mentioned with Bucky. Still no Mike Evans, still no Chris Godwin. I mean, what would they have done if they didn't draft Emeka Ibuka? Like, people thought they were crazy. People thought they were crazy though for drafting a wide receiver with their wide receiver core. And I'm like, man, that might have been the best decision that they've made in a long time, other than signing Baker to what they signed him to. But it's tough. It's really, really tough matchup for them. Back to back, where you're playing away in these games too. It's like you just wish you had that one advantage in being home, and they don't have them in either of these matchups. But dude, this could be an NFC Championship matchup. This could be an NFC divisional matchup here. So it's just one of those where you're getting it, just like we mentioned, like we talked about it being a shootout and it possibly being a potential. Everything's always a potential Super Bowl, but it wouldn't shock me if the Bills made it. It wouldn't be. I mean, it would be more of a shock if the Bucs made it, but they still do have a chance. Mike Evans comes back healthy. Bucky comes back healthy. The team really gets rolling at the right time. I mean, it's anyone's game, but this is kind of the measuring stick game, right? Where are we at? I know we're banged up, but can we still sneak some of these out? And like you said, the scoreboard doesn't really say how well the Bucs really went punch to punch with the Bills, being they lost by 10 or whatever it was. But it's like, if you watch that game, man, I mean, they were going back and forth, and that was just one of those games where Josh Allen was just gonna do everything against you. 3 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. I mean, it's just like he just did everything that game. Yep. And that's just a tip the cap and move on game. You know what I mean? It's like, man, he just scored 6 touchdowns himself. Like, wow, okay.
But now you're gonna get the same thing, on the Rams offensive side of the ball. Stafford's gonna be again trying to throw for 4 or 5 touchdowns against you. And
Kyrie Williams had a really good game last week too.
Yeah. And it's weird. They went to, I mean, I don't blame them, but again, from the 1 or 2 yard line, finding Devontae Adams again.
It's just such good hands. Like,
so to me, that's his Megatron, because anytime he was around the end zone, he would just toss it up to Megatron, in the Lions days. So now he's kind of had that comfort. If you're anywhere around the end zone, he can throw it to. Obviously, you can just run it in with Kyren Williams too. But now when you have both options there, that you're going to have those routes for Adams, it's tough to stop.
Yeah, it'd still be a really fun. Just as much as I was excited to sit down and watch the Eagles Lions game on a Sunday night, like This will be a good one too, where you can turn it on and be like, wow, this is cool. I know it's not gonna happen. Rams bring out the same jerseys, and then Bucks wear the creamsicles. Just saying, it'd be kind of fucking sick.
Those
I told
jerseys,
you.
you
Did I
said
say it
it.
on the? Did I say it on the pod?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if I said it on the pod or if I said it afterwards. That's why I was like,
And those, so to me, it was the jerseys and the way they did the end zone to match it too.
I'm starting to get you hooked on. I'm starting to get you hooked on the whole effect. You can't just go jerseys. You got to go helmet. You got to go field. You got to do, and then you do it right, and it's like that was sick. Like that was awesome. I don't think they'll go back to back weeks though.
Yeah, I agree. So last thing for the Bucks though, sometimes we have a chance of kind of calling teams out, calling players out. What I want to call out for the Bucks is tell Baker when he's in the red zone, tell him that he has a tight end. He is allowed to throw to his tight end to score a touchdown.
A good touchdown.
Because for some reason the Bucks still just haven't had a touchdown to the tight end position this year. Just throw it. Kate Otton's a good tight end. Throw it to him.
He's a good man. He's a good.
He's a great gentleman.
He's a great father.
Gentleman and a scholar. Throw him the ball in the red zone. He deserves it.
He donates to charity. Like, speaking of tight ends, George Kittle.
Yeah, I bet he was kind of excited to have Purdy. Yeah, throwing him the ball.
That's been his guy. That's why. And obviously, I know I'm wrong. You're the tight end whisperer.
I try.
I wanted to make a big pause there, so that way they came out the right way. But obviously you picked McBride, but that's genuinely why in 2 leagues this year I drafted George Kittle. I just thought they were so banged up, and I mean, I didn't think Purdy would get hurt, and then I didn't think Kittle would get hurt, and then I didn't think, the whole thing. But I thought going into this season, my logic was that Purdy and Kittle's connection is just it's there. It's the Kelsey Mahomes. I know it's a crazy standard to set, but I'm just saying that's who Purdy loves to go to is George Kittle. So with Debo gone and Ayuk still out, and CMC we didn't think would lead his whole career in touches this season. I just thought Kittle just lights it up, right? I mean, I saw him 10 plus touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Like I would have bet all of it. Like I really would have. And I think we saw a little snip of that, of like, if they both were healthy, this is what that offense has been missing. But they're still 7-4, man.
Yeah,
like that's a great season. Like we got them winning this game here. They go 8-4. Still a crazy tough NFC West. But that's an awesome. And I think, yeah, they do. They still have their bye to get rested up.
Yeah.
So I think they have week 14 bye, just like some other teams. I think the Panthers as well have a week. Yeah, they do. Week 14 bye. So yeah, I like you said, I love that Purdy was back. CMC still being CMC, but I think Kittle and Purdy kind of stole the show in that one of how, they missed each other, if you will.
Definitely,
so,
yeah.
I think I will say I do think Mac Jones, depending on contract wise, I told Funzy, which obviously you guys know Marcus, he's been on the show with us. I think they have Mac Jones on a 2-year.
Okay.
And he was like, no, because I said, dude, like Mac Jones with the Raiders would be probably pretty good. Like young tight end, young running back, like he would probably do pretty well.
Yeah,
but
he's shown that he can, in the right system,
or Mac Jones mega deal to Minnesota.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, if he's on a 2-year contract, that kind of sucks unless they decide to trade him to a team, which whoever trades for Mac Jones, that would be a steal, because I think he's getting paid like nothing on that contract. So we'll see. Teams on the bye though, Broncos and Chargers, and then the Dolphins and the Commanders. No one really cares about Dolphins and Commanders, but Broncos and the Chargers getting a little rest in. I think the Chargers definitely need it. One of the worst O-lines. And I chalked it up to why they keep losing, unfortunately. But our 2-leg, we're gonna hit this week. We're sorry about last week. We got ahead of ourselves.
We went for the lotto pick out of
Yeah.
Our first
we full sent it. We launched the ball.
Our first instinct was correct. We should have just locked in our Bijan.
Yeah, that's what we didn't talk about. We have the text messages to prove it too, by the way. We'll post them if you guys want us to. We literally, he said Bijan, I said Derrick Henry. We both talked about it, and then we did what we did last week. So we just completely didn't go with our gut there because, like, we had it. We literally had it secured. Like, it was
Yeah,
easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
we went
And
for the
we went for the Hail Mary.
I was gonna say I can't even think of it. Legends never die mentality there, and we really, and that would have been pretty cool.
It would have been sick. We had to do it one time for the fun time because we normally don't do that. We normally keep it around these
No.
odds here. So we really full sent that one with
We were ahead.
that one.
I think we were ahead of 1.5 units on the season, so we kind of threw that one away. But
yeah, and that would have secured the rest of the season if we did that. So
yeah,
but we're back. Obviously we both took Atlanta. Still trying to convince ourselves. So
I like it. And then Amon-Ra just that was
he's due. I mean, what was it? I think it was 14 targets.
Yeah, it was uncharacteristic of that. Obviously you need him to excel to have a chance of the game. So this is the bounce.
2 catches on 12 targets. Yeah. That is the one, like, because I have him in Dynasty. So when I saw that, I'm like, dude, the Eagles defense really. I mean, I guarantee you look back. I would bet money on it right now. You look back at Amon-Ra's entire career with Jared Goff. Give me one game where he had 12 targets and only had 2 catches. I guarantee you it's not
right.
there.
I mean, it's that cold weather. It's 2-glove Goff.
I told you, man. That's what scares me about the Lions is they have to be home in the playoffs because the Super Bowl is going to be somewhere nice and whatever else. So you're fine there, but you have to have that number 1 seed because I think Jared Goff sucks in the cold.
Yeah, he just did not seem comfortable. He had those little weird. They looked like golf gloves, to be honest, but he wasn't throwing the ball right.
Yep. So that's definitely going to be something to track. Obviously, going forward with your guys' season, and then hopefully playoff chances is where you're at.
Yeah, these cold weather games just not it.
Not it. And I think you guys, not to keep going, but I think you guys just figure the run game out going into there. Then just think to yourself, we're not going to pass as good, and use. I mean, I feel like Montgomery's been nothing this year. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like he really has been.
Yeah, these last stretch of games, he's just not been getting it going.
You just can't find it. Yeah,
Gibbs obviously just you give him some space, and he's faster than everybody possible. But
yeah, just not consistent enough.
Montgomery, yeah, that's that 1-2 punch that we've been talking about since last season, just not been there this season.
Yeah, so that is our week 12 takes. We appreciate you guys. Like we said, we do apologize for recording this a little early. It'll still get posted normal time, so it'll feel like normal stuff. But we are a little bit, uninformed on some of the stuff.
We'll
I mean, and to be fair, me and you just talked about it too. It's one of those things where it's not like we have all the up to date on a Wednesday night. It's one more night. Like, sure, we get a couple more, but it's on game time decisions. Some of it's still Sunday and everything else that we
because Wednesday's a rest day for a lot of the time, anyways. So
yeah,
you're right. It's not that big. It feels weird.
Yeah, it does feel very weird. It feels very weird. But obviously, just keep your phone updated, man. I mean, everything on ESPN alerts you guys. So, yeah, fantasy, it's coming down to the wire for some people on who's going to make playoffs, who's not going to make playoffs. So you should be on top of it anyways. So, yeah, that's all I got, though, Matt. You got anything else?
I just better get a comment from our Browns fans that I sided with them this week.
Well, unfortunately, one of them literally has only watched like one game the entire season. So I don't even know if he knows that Shador got into the game.
Gotcha.
So, but no, we'll see. Shout out the Browns, dude. 2-8. Road to the toilet bowl.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you guys next week for week 13. And yeah, later.
See you.